What's up everybody, Arrg the Pirate here, and today we're gonna play a little Serath in the jungle. As always, let's go over the deck. Now I have Jungle Assassin, Fast Travel, Lifesteal, Piercing Basic, Critical Hits, and lastly Jungle Lifesteal for my gems. Now for my cards, I have Armored Footman, Cull the Weak, Poised Aggressor, Guard Peircer, Veil Stepper, Swamp Stalker, Woundseeker, Sacred Alchemy, and then lastly Vampiric Blade. Now I have not played Serath in a while, and I really haven't played her in that jungle position for a while either, or at least in a serious match, but hey, it's about time, and a lot of people have asked me to play some Serath, so that's exactly what we're going to do. Now, I start out with that Poised Aggressor with Jungle Assassin. And, you know, hey, guys, this is really up to you. I think going with Jungle Lifesteal might also be a very good choice because, you know, Serath does take quite a bit of damage in these early stages, and whenever I get through that full rotation of the jungle, as well as picking up those green buff, yeah, I'm almost dead. So even with getting that Jungle Lifesteal on at, you know, just those first 3 minions, I'm very low, guys. So if you want to start out with Jungle Assassin or Jungle Lifesteal, you know, whichever one, you can do the full rotation either way, but I kind of went with Poised Aggressor first just to really check this out. Now, I do try to play a match or two before I, you know, make the video so I can kind of brush up on a few things. But we had a pretty successful match this first round, so, you know, I didn't really try and experiment as much to see the changes within Serath, things like that, which, you know, Serath hasn't had a whole lot of changes. But my in-game, I'm planning on picking up that Sacred Alchemy first, then followed by Woundseeker, and then lastly go for Vampiric Blade. I'll probably switch out Woundseeker for Vampiric Blade and then finish off with Woundseeker, but this is a fairly simple deck. You know, there's not a whole lot of cards, and you can kind of see what the end game is, you know, typically going to look like. Now, if you are planning on playing one of these later game junglers, getting enough farm is key. You know, you definitely want to make sure you're getting enough jungle farm, and, you know, you don't want to steal too many lanes, but farm is key because you are a late game hero, and, you know, Serath is no exception, guys. Being an ADC, she definitely needs her farm, so if you're not getting kills, you need to be farming in that jungle, or, you know, go cover a lane, something like that. And, you know, that's absolutely huge. And you can see here, we're kind of waiting for this Wukong to push up, and once he does, we're going to go ahead and engage on him. And, you know, I was hoping to keep my green buff till, you know, we were able to secure that, but we didn't end up doing it. But hey, we still got the kill, and we're at half health. I'm going to help Wukong push into this tower, and, you know, we're just little over, not quite 4 minutes into the match, and we're getting some damage onto this tower, and with me and Wukong both here, we should be able to escape fairly easy if the jungler does rotate. But again, guys, this early on in the match, if you do have some rotation, if you do see enemies show up, don't stay under tower. Get out of the tower, head back, you know, go ahead and farm up, do that kind of thing. You can see it's exactly what I'm going to do here. You know, we push that wave, their Wukong is about to show back up. There's no reason for us to continue pushing that tower when, you know, hey, they're going to show up and push us right back out. Now, I'm going to go ahead and just speed up most of this. This is pretty standard stuff, guys. Farm your jungle, and, you know, as Serath, again, we need to get those cards online. That's when we'll really start cranking out the damage. And, you know, we do have that Poised Aggressor. We do have Armored Footman. But, again, we're not just doing a whole lot at the moment. And so getting farm is huge, as well as picking up green buff. Picking up green buff can really help your damage increase because, you know, the enemy team's going to hit you, and if you can get that to explode on them, it's absolutely huge. Now, our Wukong did go down, so I need to go cover his lane. And, you know, heading to the solo lane, we've got a Chimera and a Wukong pushing into our tower, And, you know, hey, I'm going to go ahead and do a little work on these minions. And then I say, you know what? I'm just going to go after them. I've got green buff. So, you know, hey, we might be able to make something happen. And sure enough, we get that green buff to explode on Wukong. And then we're able to take him out. And, you know, hey, that's what we want, guys. You can see the power of green buff is absolutely huge. And since I now have Guard Peircer, you know, I'm hitting quite a bit harder than they are. And again, we've got some great farm. I do get out of that lane and allow Wukong to stay in lane. And I'm just going to continue my farm. I really want to get Sacred Alchemy on. Now, our Morgesh did manage to take out Zinx, and this really opens up the mid lane, and you can see Morgesh is rotating to our duo lane. So I'm going to help her out and help down this tower. You can see there's quite a big minion wave pushing into this tower. I'm just going to go ahead and shove it, and then we'll get under tower with 8 minions in. We're going to be able to do quite a bit of damage here. And, you know, we've really got this tower pretty much unmolested. But as soon as Zinx shows up, I'm going to get out, guys. And the reason I want to get out is because she does have that stun, and there's no sense in taking poke damage when we really don't need to. I wouldn't have been able to down that tower, or I maybe could have, but hey, it's always better to just turn and run. This is still very early in the match. We're only 8 minutes in. There's no sense in dying for a T1 or getting a ton of damage where I'm going to have to back. It's better just to get back into my jungle and farm it up. And you can see the massive amount of damage we got on that. That really allowed our Morgesh to rotate safely. Now, one thing Morgesh didn't do is she didn't make a quick rotation. She stayed in that duo lane, and I am keeping an eye on that, but you can see Zinx is now missing from mid lane. So I'm actually going to go head to mid lane, get this lane pushing in the right direction, and with 3 of our enemies in that solo lane, we know Zinx is going to show up somewhere. Sure enough, she went to that duo lane, and she was able to take out our steal, which that is unfortunate, and they did get some minions into the tower. But hey, that's okay. We're making the best out of a bad situation, and by saving this tower, we're providing the service that the jungler really needs to do. And this does allow Morgesh to head back over and, you know, continue her farm, pushing these lanes, things like that. And that's really what we want. Now, we did get a pretty good wave to push to this mid tower, and you can see, since I got all that damage on it earlier, we're able to take that tower out no problem at all. I'm going to then pick up purple buff and really look for an engagement. You know, I want to use purple buff to actually get a kill. We head over to the duo lane, and, you know, their Murdoch is here. You know, we need to be aware of that. But I thought Steel was going to head in behind me, and, you know, we'd be able to actually make a little bit more something happen. But unfortunately, Steel went around that long ways, so we weren't able to really take advantage of his ultimate. But hey, no problem. Just go back, farm. We can't do anything at this point. They've got 3 enemies under that T1. We're not going to be able to do anything there, so it's best just to back off. I'm going to actually head to the mid lane since Morgesh did rotate to the solo lane, and we're going to kind of wrap up this mid lane push and really get it set in the right direction. Now, coming up is where I make my first critical mistake. Zinx did a ton of damage to our mid lane, so I really want to punish her, and I kind of go into tunnel vision, and I'm not paying attention to the mini map. You know, I'm completely unaware that Chimera's right here, and, you know, he heads in, and it's like, okay, we got to get out, and I'm able to ascend and get out. He does dive the tower, and I don't hit my ultimate. Yeah, you can see I was kind of jumping up in the air, and, you know, when you're in the air, you can't use abilities, or some of them, and Immune's definitely one of those abilities, and he's able to take me down no problem. That also allows them to free up and take down our mid tower, which, you know, that hurts, guys. That definitely hurts. Not having that map awareness of Chimera, you know, that cost me not only that mid tower, but it cost me my life, and there was no need for that. You know, I probably didn't really need to engage on that Zinx, but you could see that simple mistake that I made cost us huge, and, you know, hey, that is a big problem. Now I pick up green, I'm going to head over to this duo lane, and we're able to take out that Murdoch, and then, you know, I'm going to go ahead and go in onto Decker. You know, I did have green buff, so, you know, I'm not doing too bad, and with Sacred Alchemy, I'm going to keep a shield up, which is going to negate quite a bit of this damage. I was expecting my team to head into the tower a little bit faster, but, you know, hey, unfortunately they didn't, but that's quite alright. I need to get out, you know, Zink's headed over, you know, she was able to hit me with that stun, and Chimere's there, he's able to take me out. You know, we get 2 deaths, you know, we started out pretty strong, but we get 2 quick deaths. If my team were to head into that tower and just help me with that Decker a little bit, things would have been a little bit different. But again, guys, you can't always expect your teammates to do what you have in mind. And once I left that tower, I should have just not gone back in to help down it. You see, we downed the tower regardless. There was no need for me to go back into that tower. I should have safely got out. But is what it is. You know, we made mistake number 2. And hopefully from here we can turn things around. Now, my Wukong does have to head back to base, so I'm just going to go ahead and farm his lane, get it pushing in the right direction. Now, you can see Morgesh is actually heading over to mid lane, so I want to kind of stay engaged, you know, close enough to this Wukong. And, you know, hey, we're here. I'm not exactly sure why Morgesh didn't start that fight right then, but not a problem. You know, it ended up being a decent call because I did get stunned right away. But that's quite alright. We're just going to kind of wait for the right opportunity. Now, sure enough, I just head in, and with Morgesh here, you know, we're going to be able to take out Wukong, no problem. And, you know, again, we take him out, no problem, and then we're going to go ahead and shove this lane into this tower. Now, the idea behind shoving this lane into this tower is not so much we're going to down this tower. It's more about, hey, this is going to require some attention over here. You can see Chimere's heading over there to deal with the push, and then the next wave as well. This is going to free my team up to head over to Raptor and pick up our first Raptor. Being 14 minutes into the match, you know, we definitely need to get Raptor taken out, and we are definitely getting out of that laning phase, so now's the time to pick up these objectives and really start making the plays that are going to start ending games. Now, after we secure the Raptor and, you know, we take it out pretty much unmolested, we're going to then go do our jungle thing. You know, we're Serath, baby. You know, we need our farm, and sure enough, we're getting our farm, no problem. The enemy team is running that Finder of Play thing, so, you know, they are keeping vision on us decently, but that's alright, you know, no problem at all. We're going to head over to Decker. We're able to dodge that stun, and then, you know, kind of do some damage to her. Now, Steel is running to that mid lane, and, you know, Murdoch's right behind him. We're going to be able to take out Murdoch. You know, Steel ult is so strong, guys, with the amount of CZ, you know, it's so good. And then we're going to go ahead and just stay in on this Chimera, and we're able to take him out as well. And, you know, hey, that's great. Me having these shields, you can see it's absolutely huge. It's negating a ton of damage from that tower. And you can see I've came to the other side of the tower. I've got this minion wave on the enemy side of the tower. And what this is going to do is just allow my minions to fully walk under tower and not have to deal with any kind of resistance. Make sure they fully get into the tower. You know, we're not worried about Decker. Decker doesn't hurt. So we're going to be able to take down this T2, and the whole time, you know, Decker was there poking me and everything like that. Sacred Alchemy, guys, it's so good. And, you know, we get a great double kill there, as well as taking down that T2 in mid. You know, that's absolutely huge. Now, again, since after those few plays, you know, I'm healthy. I don't need to go back to base, and I'm just going to kind of run, do my jungle thing, you know, continue my farm, and I say, you know what, hey, it's a good time to go for Fang. Hopefully we get some team collapse, and I go in on Fang, and then I see, hey, you know, there is quite a bit of team presence, and I see their Murdoch and Zinks kind of look like they might start running towards me, so I'm just going to leave Fang, guys. And I see a lot of people continue staying in on Fang. If you see the team collapsing, guys, get out. There's no reason to stay in on that, and, you know, losing that would be huge. And you can see, by leaving that allowed me to actually go in on Murdoch and take him out. Now, the enemy team did collapse on Fang, And, you know, I'm waiting for my team to rotate. We are able to take out that Decker in the process, which, you know, hey, that's great. I am hoping my team is, you know, paying attention to what's going on, and you can see Steel and Murdoch are both heading towards that Raptor pit, so maybe they can actually wrap Raptors up or, you know, get a couple of kills. Murdoch is actually able to take out Zinx and secure Fang, which, you know, that's huge. That is a huge play, and they end up taking out Chimera as well. You know, that's awesome. We get Fang, we get a 4-man wipe right there. You know, we started out with Murdoch, then we got Decker, then my team came over and took out Zinx and Chimera. That's huge. That's game-breaking play right there. And you can see our duo lane is being pushed pretty solid right now. They're going to take out a T2, and hopefully we'll get an inhib out of this. Now, my team did manage to stay in that mid lane and push all the way to the inhib. They're able to actually take it out just before the enemy team, you know, fully spawns back in, which is huge. But I need to head over to our solo lane. You can see there, that lane's set against us, it looks like, and there's no reason for me to head to mid. You know, that my team is going to take down that inhib and then hopefully get out because, you know, the entire enemy team is up right now. You know, they did just get a kill on Wukong, which is nice, but, you know, they definitely have to play careful. Steel went down, but they traded a Steel for a Chimera, which, you know, 2-for-1 fight right now, that's decent. We're not doing too bad. We end up actually getting a full team wipe. Oh, man. Yeah, you know, a full team wipe at their inhib with me pushing down this solo lane. You know, this might be GG, guys. And they actually end up surrendering right here. Which, hey, you know, you can't win them all, but it definitely looked like this one was in the bag. Although melee ADCs do feel like they're in kind of a goofy spot right now, you can still find some solid success with them. As you saw with my Wukong video yesterday and, you know, Serath today, we did decent, so you can find that success. Well, thanks for watching, guys, and if you did enjoy, show me some love. Leave me a comment, think about subscribing, join our Discord if you haven't done it. I'd love to play with y'all, and we've got some cool things coming up within our community. And as always, guys, I'll see y'all in the next video.